Hello. We're so delighted to be with you. I'm Jeri Suarez. I'm the Associate Dean of Cultural and Community Engagement. And
Hi, everyone. My name is Epa Cabrera. I'm in the class of 2020. I'm a double major in business and economics, and I'm also pursuing the Baton Leadership Institute. I'm so excited for y'all to come to Hollins next fall, and I'm really excited to be at this webinar with Miss Jeri.
well, we're delighted to be with you. We're hoping it's going to be answering a variety of your questions. We have several here. If you have questions that have not been addressed within our hour chat, please continue to email me or get on the summer chat. And while I'm discussing that, if you have not been on the summer chat yet, please invite me as a friend on Facebook so that we can add you, because it's a way that you all are getting to know each other and us before you arrive. So we're going to go ahead and get started, but just know we cannot wait for you to join us in the fall. It's really going to be lovely. As you know, Epa is one of our tremendous peer mentors. And although you won't get to meet her until the spring because she will be studying abroad, and she can talk about that in a minute, she's been a tremendous resource all summer. And so hopefully you've been chatting with her as well. But let's go ahead and get started. So many of you have asked about arrival and your first week on campus, and I just want to talk you through that a little bit. So as you know, I've requested that you all arrive on August 20th. And if you have not sent me your travel plans or your itinerary, some of you may still be working on that, and that's certainly understandable. Please get that to me as soon as you can, because it's important to me that we have all of those details so that we can be there to pick you up at the airport. Some of you may be coming with family. Some of you may be driving from different locations with friends. Some of you are already in the state, so welcome. But it's important that I get your travel information so that we're able to plan accordingly to have someone from the university pick you up. That'll be important. So please send that to me at your earliest convenience once it's finished, once it's set. So arriving on the 20th, the actual International Student Orientation Program, which we call ISOP, you'll see that acronym a lot, will begin on Wednesday, August 22nd. And Epa will talk about her experience as a first-year student as well as a peer mentor, because she's in her seasoned second year as a mentor, and she'll be able to walk you through that. But basically, the point of this is twofold. One, for you to be able to come and decompress a little bit, allow your buddy to adjust to the time difference and being in a new location, but also to get sort of a leg up on learning about our campus and getting more comfortable with all of us and an opportunity to bond with each other. So we will go through individual meetings with the business office, with the academic dean, with the health center, a variety of offices on campus, so that you're having small group discussions and you can feel free to ask as many questions as you like. And then we spend a fair amount of time together with the peer mentors to just do some bonding and team building so that you can have this close relationship that we hope the experience will be for you. And so we will go from some of those more pertinent questions of academic advising and living in a new culture, but also just the adjustments of being away from home. So there's lots of opportunities to ask questions and get to know each other. Epa, why don't you share a little bit about your experience?
So when I first arrived to Hollins, obviously I was really jet lagged, really exhausted, tired from traveling, but I did have time to rest, which was well needed. Of course, I was really, really nervous, and I'm sure all of you are as nervous as I was. But it will be totally fine. I came on the first day of orientation. It was nerve-wracking because I didn't know anybody. I started to meet my peer mentors. And then as the days roll by, you really get to know them and you really get close to them. And then you do a lot of icebreakers, which is a lot of fun because you really get to know all the other international students. And then orientation is great. I do not know if I could have survived if we didn't have an orientation. But we do also set up our bank accounts, and we go to Target and Best Buy. And so if you need to buy a laptop or a cell phone or get a plan for your phone, that's also an option during orientation.
And so when you arrive, we're trying to sort out some of the logistics to try to get some things set up for you immediately. We know that you connecting with home is essential. So the plan is to get you set up with IT right away. But again, as Eppa said, we will organize getting you your bank account if you have not done so. Those of you that will be here 2 weeks or so earlier, you may want to do that already with family, but certainly be communicating with me. We can tell you what local branches are right here, so to make easy access to get to those banks. But just know that those 2 or 3 days are really designed to help you acclimate and get more confident about your decision to study with us, which has been a really good one. So we're glad you're going to be with us. So after orientation, so we will go through the orientation program will start on the Wednesday of that first week of arrival through Friday. And then the university orientation will start on Saturday. And so by then you will feel much more confident once all your other new classmates arrive on Saturday. So Monday, the following Monday, is when we will meet every week for what we call family time. And ISEP team meets at 6:15. And you can have either had dinner or bring dinner with you at that time. And it's just a time for us to be together. The students have changed it to call it family time because it's really not a meeting. It's a place to check in with each other and have the opportunity just to reconnect. Sometimes there'll be issues that we discuss, like homesickness or registering for courses. And other times we do more informal things and have parties. It's basically just a time for you to be with your mentors and with me. Because we have so many students, if I met with you all one-on-one every week, that's all I would do is meet and I wouldn't get any of my work done. So it's a time that I commit to you, that the mentors commit to you to be together. And the thing about ISOP that's important to remember, it's a foundation group for you. It'll be a place, hopefully will help you gain confidence, but it's a starting place. If you're a swimmer, we want you to be on the swim team. If you enjoy theater, we want you to try out for the play. So our campus, the entire campus is open to you to explore and to risk safely, to try new things. But ISOP is a foundation place that we hope you will enjoy. You want to add anything to family time?
So for family time, I love family time because, again, as Jeri mentioned, we do a lot of fun activities, and then we also have really important days where we talk about important topics, such as we also talked about currency once because that could be a change. And then dealing with registering with classes and advising week and stuff like that, really important things for the academic year. And then we also get together and we talk about the different events, upcoming events that our team sponsors, and the international festivals, and all the mentors and mentees, they get together and they just do announcements as well. So if you had an announcement and you wanted to tell everyone else about an event that you're really excited about, that's also a good time to do. But yeah, family time is a great time. Sometimes everyone can get busy, but family time is a time that we all kind of sit, decompress, talk about our week, talk about some of the things that we are struggling with, talk about some of the things we've been proud of, some of the exciting things we did throughout the week. And so family time is just a really good time to come back together as a very supportive group to show that we're there for one another.
I love Monday nights for that reason, because I get to see all of you. And so that's always fun for me. So Eppa, one of the questions is, what was the most difficult thing you faced as an international student?
All right. So I can't really recall many difficult things just because I've already been here for 2 years. And I love Hollins. It really feels like a home to me, my second home. But I would say the most difficult thing would just be being really far from my family. It can be tough at times, and sometimes I get really homesick. And then when I do get homesick, my friends come into my room and they take me out for a walk, or they ask me if I want to go out and kind of get my mind off being homesick, which is really, really awesome because I know it can be really, really hard to be away from your family, away from your friends, everyone you're close to, but you will find a home here, and you will find many, many people who are very supportive and who are always there for you. And so I've kind of overcome that
Mhm.
difficult challenge as the days gone by while I'm here at Hollins. So, but I would say the difficult thing was just being away. But then there are also like international stores close nearby, so you can always buy food and cook, which is fun also. So there are many things that you can do to cope with your homesickness.
But it's completely normal and expected. All of our new students will face that. It's an adjustment. It's a huge life adjustment. But you should be proud of yourself for taking this tremendous step and know that you're coming to a community that is very supportive of you. So you have to access the campus and let us know how we can best support you. That's really the key. But I think that is the main one. But I think also adjusting to different foods and different spices. And you may need to bring some spices to spice up your dishes. But the reality of it is, coming to a small campus like this, it is designed to support the individual student needs. And so you just have to communicate with us. And I'm happy to meet with you on an individual basis, on a regular basis, if that will help you feel more confident to find your place. But the whole point of ISOP and the weekly meetings is the reconnecting, rechecking in. And again, sometimes it's just to be together and we're just hanging out and catching up. And other times there are issues that we need to discuss. So it's a space we hope you will access and know that it's designed to support you. All right, let's see. So what is the weather like in Virginia compared for you an island?
So for those who don't know, I'm from Saipan. It's a really small tropical island in the Pacific. If you know where Guam is, we're an island right next to Guam. I reference Guam a lot because Guam is more popular than Saipan. But coming from an island, I was used to really warm weather. I've never seen snow. And some of you guys might relate to that. But after coming to Hollins, it was a big change in the weather. And so there's 4 seasons here. Personally, my favorite is the fall because it's nice and cool, not too cold yet, not too hot. And then for winter, it does get cold. So I would suggest that you do buy a winter coat because you will need one. But I would suggest that you buy it here just because you are limited with the amount of luggage that you can bring when you travel, and winter coats can be thick and heavy, and so buying it here would be the most convenient.
And there'll be lots of opportunities for us to go to the local stores to do that. But many students we find from more tropical areas are even chilly through the fall. And so bringing sweaters or purchasing sweaters is going to be important. You're going to need sweaters through mid-fall, and you will need a coat. And it will be fun for you to experience snow for the first time. You know, we have sleds in our department that you just get out and have fun on the back hills. So this is all part of that adventure. It's to enjoy different seasons. But as Eppa said, fall is so beautiful here with the changing colors of the trees. It's so, so beautiful. I think fall and spring are really wonderful times here. Summer can get warm.
Yep.
And that's what we're in right now. And winter, you will experience some snow, but unlike places in the Midwest in our country, it is not extensive amounts of snow. So anywhere from maybe 15 to 30 or 40 inches a season, which is not very much. Some years it's been more than that, but in the last 2, that's basically been our experience. But you will have an opportunity to play in the snow, which is fun for an adult to do for the first time. But again, being limited, as you were saying, Eppa, with the 2 pieces of luggage, don't get nervous about that. Bring your clothes, bring the things that you need. But why don't we slide right into that, talking about things to bring, because I think that's probably a main concern for you at this point. But again, being limited by the airlines, don't be nervous about that. We will be able to assist you to get you to the stores. And we will talk about what to bring, but while I'm thinking about it, I definitely want to mention, we have what we call a free store. And if you're familiar with the concept of a Goodwill store, it's somewhat like that. It's free to students on campus. And it basically is a community building opportunity, but also could be something you access on a regular basis. Many students do. It started with a student saying, I bought this shampoo, but I didn't like the way it smelled, but I don't want to throw it away. So she would donate it to the free store. So if you have mugs you no longer want, if you have a sweater you no longer want, you donate it to the free store. But then everything that's in there is available for you to take for free. And students want to walk out the door and go, can I really walk out with this? And yes, you can. And so faculty and staff and administrators on our campus donate a lot of items that we know students need. I will have access to several comforters and sheet sets, things like that. So before buying any of that, please make sure you check in with me. The university will supply a basic set of sheets and towels, very, very basic. You will probably want to get some others as well, but that is something that you can use and turn in each week and get new sheets. You will get a lamp for your desk. You will have access to your own mini refrigerator in your room that you will not be charged for, and a pillow. So a basic blanket, sheets, basic towels, study lamp, and the refrigerator. You do not need to order any of that. I will make sure it's placed in your room. Once I find out what residence hall room you'll be in, we'll have that placed in, and that will be there when you arrive. What about some other things you think either you wish you had brought or you would suggest that they consider bringing?
So for me, I would just suggest that you bring obviously clothes. Also bring traditional clothing, because we do have international festivals. I believe we have 2 for the whole year. And so it's really nice to dress up in your own traditional clothing. Mm-hmm. And we have other students who do dress up. So it's really nice to be in it. And then we also have a fashion walk. So it's nice to just see everyone in all their different traditional clothing. So I would suggest you bring that. I would also suggest that you pack some family photos that you can hang up in your room, kind of make it feel more comfortable. And then also some food. So again, like Jeri said, if you want to bring some of your spices, you can do that. So yeah, I believe that would be most of the things that you should bring. Again, you can everything that you think you need, such as like the winter coat and bed sheets, you can buy it here, because that does take up a lot of space. But all the basics that you think you can't buy here, again, like traditional clothing, some spices, I would suggest that you pack those. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we will start with taking you to the free store, because as the year goes on, I pull out items that I know specifically, trash cans, laundry baskets, things like that we know that you'll need. We try to put aside. The challenge is there's no guarantee of what is in the free store. It just depends on what people donate, but we will start there and allow you to go through and pick things before you have to go to the store to purchase them. So how do you get to the store, Epa?
So as a first year, I did not have a car, which is totally fine, because Hollins University does offer a shuttle service, and the shuttle runs from Thursday to Saturday. So you have a lot of time to go out and buy the things that you need. The shuttle goes to Walmart, downtown. They just recently added some shopping areas. So Bed Bath & Beyond is there, 5 and Below. There's also a Sweet Frog, so if you and your friends want to go out for some frozen yogurt. And then it also goes to the mall. So there's lots of stops, and it does go out throughout every hour. And so there's a lot of time for you to go out and buy what you need, or go out and spend some time at the mall with your friends. So really, there's no need for you to be concerned about not having a car, because there are services that will help you get around.
And I think so many of our students across the campus access the shuttle. It's free to you. And again, you have to just be aware of the pickup times and the drop-off times. But it's just nice for you to have the freedom to be able to just go and head to the mall or head downtown for a meal or a cup of coffee, and just opportunities to get into Roanoke a little bit. So I think it works out well. Let's see. What are some ways that you spend your weekend?
So some ways you can spend your weekend in Roanoke, again, is the shuttle. You can take the shuttle, go to the mall, explore the different restaurants that they have down in downtown Roanoke. Some of the other things I like to do during the weekend is actually visit Carvin's Cove. It is so beautiful. It's a really big cove. It's just really nice to see the water because I always miss the water. Being used to just driving down the road, seeing the beach, and so seeing the water just always makes me happy. And at Carbon's Cove, you can actually go kayaking. You can also go paddle boating, sorry. And then it's also a really short hike, so you can hike there. Or if you find a friend who has a car, it's only a 5-minute drive. So it's very convenient that it's around. And then everything around us is only like 10 to 15 minutes away. So you can go to a Target, it's 15 minutes away. And again, I also do spend my weekends doing homework. So I always put academics first. So when I'm
Good
done
answer.
when I'm done with all my homework and I have some extra free time, that's when I kind of go out and explore what Roanoke has to offer. But yeah.
Well, in the Hollins Activity Board, we call it HAB here,
Right.
offers a tremendous number of activities and programs in the evenings and on the weekends for you to enjoy with other students here. And then students from other campuses will come here. So there's lots of opportunities there. The other thing that I think is a really nice opportunity is our outdoor program. And it's called HOP, Hollins Outdoor Program. And John Guy Owen sets up all of these adventure experiences. So the thing that I think is very important when you come to the university is, yes, you are coming to focus on your academic career that will set you up for your next steps. But it's really nice to be in an environment that provides opportunities to try something completely different in a very safe way. If you've never been canoeing or kayaking, you can go. And some of the programs are free. Some of them have a nominal fee, but it's absolutely worth trying. He takes students skiing. He takes them skating, spelunking, which I had never done before, which is crawling through a cave. That I'm not sure I have to do again, but it was a really, really special experience to try. And so it's a nice way to meet different Holland students than maybe hanging out with the same people all the time that enjoy adventure. We do have a climbing wall on campus, and so that's open throughout the week that you can learn to climb before you were to go out into nature and try the real climbing. But I think that his opportunities are really fun, and a lot of them are on the weekend as well.
Yeah.
All right. So general expenses that you've had as a college student.
So some of the general expenses, personally for me, would be I like to go shopping, so I buy clothes every now and then. But that's totally for my lifestyle personally because I like shopping. But generally, I spend for my monthly phone bill, and sometimes I go out and I buy food during the weekend. Again, going downtown for dinner. That's another expense. Another expense would be shopping, food, phone bill. There's not that much because you don't need extra like coins for laundry. Laundry is already counted towards your cost of attendance at Hollins, so that's covered. Is there any more?
Yeah, so all of your needs are met here. You wouldn't need to leave. We think it's important to go out and explore Roanoke, but your needs are met here. And so again, as you share, it's nice that your laundry costs are included in your tuition, and so you won't have that expense. But if you think of the general expenses that you do at home, that would probably be comparable as in regards to entertainment. If you wanted to go to the movies, if you wanted to, go out and explore. We do have a DVD library in the library that you can access for free if you want to watch movies with friends. Some friends have Netflix accounts, and you can watch together. But I think, there are lots of opportunities to explore and engage and just spend time with your friends on campus. As you mentioned, studying, in all seriousness, that is something, especially if English is not your first language, you may find, and we'll talk about this during orientation, but you may find that you have to spend more time studying than you did while you were in high school.
Yes.
And that's to be expected across the board. Our domestic students have the same experience. You're at the university, there are high expectations, and you are ready for them, but you have to plan accordingly. You cannot wait to the last moment and expect to do your best work. Some students have said, I need to read that 2 and 3 times initially, but you will find the more you access your English, the better it will get, the stronger your comprehension will get. And, some of you are coming with other students from your home country, and that's a wonderful support, but it can also be an opportunity for you to not really engage with North American students as well as to practice your English. And I would just encourage you, and I will once you get here, to really focus on speaking English when you're here. That should be one of the reasons why you chose to come and study in the States. And so, of course, when you're tired, your brain is tired, you want to revert back, and that makes perfect sense. But push yourself to strengthen your skill set. And you will find the more you read in your courses, the stronger your comprehension would be. Any thoughts on that as a mentor? Do you see that with new students that sometimes happens?
Yeah, that sometimes happens, but I definitely agree with what Jeri said, that it's really pushing your boundaries and challenging yourself to improve your skills. And again, coming here, you will be challenged. You will take courses that are more difficult than high school classes. And that's also another difficult thing that I encountered. So classes are more difficult than they were in high school. But again, in college, you have more time. I spend a lot of time at the library studying. They have like little private rooms and whiteboards, and I'm a visual learner. So it's really nice that there's whiteboards that I can use. And it's a little room that is, I guess, just for me. So I go in there and I just use it on my own time, study, take the time to study, turn off my phone, just use my laptop, turn off all distractions. And so it's really a time for you to explore, improve all the skills that you need.
And while you're talking about laptop, I do want to reinforce, because we've talked about you bringing your laptop, and some of you may have one and will be bringing it with you, which is a good thing. But if you were not planning on purchasing one right away, we do have computer labs on campus. So that's important for you to know. It's not required that you have your own laptop. I think it's a convenience if you want to work in your room, but know that there are labs here and you will have access to those on a regular basis. And I believe the labs are open 24 hours, are they not? So, and we have a very safe campus, thankfully. And so that would be an opportunity where you could go and work in the computer lab. So looking at some more of the questions that have been coming in, are there any storage areas for international students? Yes, we do have storage for the summer. Now, I believe that the international students would have access to submit 5 boxes. And so you may have some things on top of that. And we do have opportunities for local storage units where a lot of students will go together and purchase one together, or not purchase, but rent it for the summer. But the campus will have opportunities for you to store 5 of your boxes. Throughout the year, like during our breaks, you will not need to empty out your room. That is only at the end of the year for summer. Everyone moves out of their rooms at the end of the spring term and stores their items, or does a joint storage very close to campus. Anything else related? Did you have more than 5?
Yes. But again, it's a good opportunity that they do offer a space for international students to kind of store their stuff. But again, it is only for the summer, so you don't have to worry about all the other breaks. You can keep them in your room.
And while we're talking about breaks, one of you had asked, what are the breaks and when are you allowed to stay on campus? And so we have 4 breaks. So the fall break is really just a Wednesday through the weekend. And so that's a very short break. Nothing is shut down. Everything you would have access to stay on campus. Many students just stay and either rest or catch up on some homework. Some will go away for the long weekend, but the routine in the campus would not be any different. You'd be able to stay in your room and the meals are still provided. For our, what we call our Thanksgiving break, which is in late November, the campus is closed. However, we have worked out that international students are allowed to stay for free And we would just need to have you fill out the form. And we spend a lot of time preparing you for all of this. You will get reminders from me and from the Residence Life team that you would need to register online to be able to stay on campus for free. You will have to make your meals for that week because the regular part of the university is closed, but we take you to the shops prior to the closing so that you're able to get your food. And it's really a fun time to be together with other international students. There are a fair number that stay, so you would not be by yourself. But it's certainly something we want you to know that is available and you can access that. For the December break, so when the term ends, the entire university closes for 2 weeks. And so it will be important for you to know that you will need to make plans for the December break. And I talk about this in August so that I don't want anything to be a surprise for you. I always want you to be able to plan accordingly. So again, the entire university closes for the 2 weeks. And so there are opportunities that we will discuss, but it's important to be talking to your families. Sometimes students will go home with other friends. Some will choose to travel during that time. There is a program called the Christmas International House, and it is designed specifically for international students to have a new experience in the U.S. during that break. They know that campuses are closed, and so it's an opportunity that you apply in October, I believe, and I will get all those emails and then forward them on to you. But it's a small registration fee, and then you just simply have to get yourself where you want it to be. For example, there are a variety of programs all over the place, and you decide your top 3 choices. Some students have chosen to go to West Virginia and be able to be in the beautiful parts of the mountain in West Virginia. Others have gone to Washington, D.C. Others have gone to Florida. So if you can imagine, if you went to Florida, there would be an expense to get to Florida. But once you're there, your expenses are taken care of. They have a variety of activities and programs that they take you to the local events wherever you are. But it's a really nice opportunity to see another part of the country. And so that is certainly an option. So again, the fall break, there's no change in the routine. You could stay. The Thanksgiving break, you could stay, but we have to register and you'll have to make your own meals. The December break, the university is closed. And then there is a spring break in March. And that would mirror the Thanksgiving break. You would have access to be able to stay. You'll have to register, and we'll make sure that we get you to the stores because you would have to do your meals. So you want to talk a little bit about your experiences over breaks, maybe?
Yeah, so for fall break, again, it's just a really short break. So I ended up staying on campus, catching up on some homework, meeting some friends who also decided to stay, watching some movies. So it's a really time to just relax, and it's just a really nice break during the fall semester. And then for Thanksgiving, I had friends who had stayed, but because I have a brother who is 3 hours away, he came by and picked me up. And so I had Thanksgiving with him, as well as Christmas. And for spring break, I actually went to Jamaica last spring break for the Jamaica Cultural Immersion program. And it was awesome, phenomenal. Again, Hollins has many, many opportunities for you to travel, to go abroad, to join different programs, clubs, and organizations. So it's all sorts of fun.
She did a great job when she was with me in Jamaica, and we'll talk more about that program. But Eppa, would you talk a little bit about what's coming up for you in study abroad? Because one of the students did ask about how do we learn more about study abroad, and that is housed in international programs. So you all are very well aware of Dr. Barbieri and Daniel Davis. I know you've heard from them a great deal. Our 2 offices work very closely together in regards to preparing for your arrival. But they, of course, as you know, helped you with your I-20 and all immigration issues go there. But they also have the study abroad programs housed in that department. But Eppa's going to talk a little bit about why she's leaving me personally in the fall and where she's going.
So I actually will not meet you guys in the fall because I will be abroad in Rome. So I'll be studying in Italy for the whole fall semester, but I will keep in touch. We plan to do some Skype sessions so that I can kind of get to know you guys, even though I'll be miles away. But I'll be back in the spring, and I'm really excited to come back and tell you more about my abroad experience and just to meet you guys, hear about all the things that happened in the fall semester, all the things that you all have experienced for the first time, like I did 2 years ago. It's crazy to think how 2 years have gone by so fast. But for the study abroad process, so you can choose to study abroad. We have over 20 affiliated programs. So some in Italy, South Africa, Germany, Japan, just everywhere, Cambodia. And then we also have 2 home-based programs, one in London and one in Paris. So there's so many places for you to choose from. And everything you pay Hollins will just transfer for that semester. So basically it's going to Hollins just in a different place. And the extra expense would be your airline ticket and your visa. And Hollins does offer travel vouchers and travel awards. And so you would just apply for those and get most of them covered. So I would say the expenses would be very minimal. But I highly, highly recommend each of you to take the time to explore and see the different study abroad opportunities, because you guys are traveling from home to the US, and that's technically studying abroad as well. But again, going out and challenging yourself, exploring new cultures, a new place, that's another big step.
And so you'll have lots of opportunities to learn about our programs. The majority of our students would choose to study abroad either the fall or spring term of their junior year, but some students are approved to go in their sophomore year. So those are questions for Jeanette and Danielle. And there'll be lots of opportunities to hear from former students that have studied abroad. There are also short-term opportunities. There are opportunities, like for any given year, there's a variety of trips, I think, during short term. I believe that the classics professor will be leading another trip to Greece, which is tremendous. Last year, the art history professors led a program in Rome. And so you'd have opportunities to go on a guided experience. And again, just quickly with the Jamaica Cultural Immersion program, I started it 30 years ago. And so I take students for spring break. So you all would have an opportunity in your sophomore year to apply. You apply in the spring of the year because you need to register for a year-long course with me to prepare yourself for this type of immersion experience and poverty setting experience. I love when I have international students on the team because it just diversifies the class discussion, but as well as the opportunity for the children in this rural community to be exposed to learning about Saipan. So they're used to learning about the US, but it's really lovely to have students from all over the world to just keep expanding those opportunities for them and for you. And so it was fun to have that, but there.
Very fun.
So let's see, internships. We have a variety of very special internship opportunities, and that is housed out of our Career Center. And so you will have, again, tremendous opportunities to hear from representatives in the Career Center about plans for either short-term or for summer, and sometimes throughout the year if you're doing one in the Roanoke Valley. But it's a marvelous opportunity for you to get hands-on experience to really test out what you think you want to do with your life. Many times we can study the theory, but it's important to be able to put that into practice. And so have you had any opportunities where you've been an intern yet?
So I have not done an internship during short term, but I did recently do an internship during the spring of last year. I was the social media coordinator intern. So I was in charge of the Hollins University Instagram and Snapchat accounts. So if you do follow them, or if you don't follow them, please follow them. Keep in touch about everything that's going on. You'll see me post about the different events. We'll have stories of what it's like at Hollins. So again, that's a perfect example of what Jeri mentioned, that you can also do an internship throughout the semester. But short term is also a great opportunity to do internships. As a first year, you can do an internship in the Roanoke Valley. And there's one for every major, so you don't have to worry about getting an internship that you're not interested in. You can always work with the Career Center. And then after your first year, you can do signature internships, which are located in Washington, D.C. or New York. And again, there's one for every major. So it's a really great opportunity to kind of be in the real life outside of college, where you are doing real hands-on work. You're an employee, you're an intern for a whole month, and you can see what all the different career options that you might be thinking about. And the Career Center is awesome. They are phenomenal. They're always there to help you. If you wanted to schedule a mock interview, you can do that, which is great, because I know doing a mock interview with like a friend can be difficult, because you would always, laugh around. But the Career Center always has that throughout the year. They also have different workshops with different really important topics, such as workplace etiquette, how to prepare for grad school, how to find a job, how to find different internships. And so the Career Center is always there for every student. And it's a great resource that I would highly recommend you take advantage of, because they do amazing work.
And they sponsor with our alumni office a wonderful conference. It's called the C3 Conference in the fall. And this is an opportunity to bring our tremendous alumni back to campus for you to learn more about networking with them, but just in general. And this really separates Hollins. Truly, it is so unique and special that our alumni commit their time to come back to really guide you through that process of what you think you might want to do after you leave Hollins. And as first-year students, I know some of you are transfers, but as first-year students, you might say, geez, I don't really need to think about that yet. But you do. You really do. You need to map out what you want for yourself and make sure that you access this campus, but also our tremendous network. I mean, it's really, really unique, and it can make all the difference. So the wonderful opportunity about the internships is it gives you, yes, a firsthand opportunity to learn, but it also puts you into the workplace and your name into the workplace. And so you may have a leg up over someone who is applying if you've already been an intern for them. They already know you. And so it's opportunities like that we really want you to access. So back to family time on Monday nights, prior to the conference in the fall, our team will go through what to wear, what not to wear, etiquette, and working with the different alumni and attending this experience. Can you talk a little bit about you going to C3?
Yeah, so C3 again is a really, really great opportunity to just network. Everyone dresses up in business casual clothing, so really not a typical day at Hollins. Everyone's dressed up, and then you get to meet phenomenal alums, and they're just amazing. And you can tell that they absolutely love Hollins, because they come back just super excited to meet everyone. And then it's really, really, really nice to just listen to their experiences after Hollins. So it kind of gives you the idea of all the different options that you could potentially come across after your time at Hollins. And then they also give you business cards, and you actually get business cards as well. So it's a pretty good deal. Fun day, great time to network, exchange emails. If you find someone who has your dream job, it's really important to exchange contacts, so that in the future you can always email them, come in contact, tell them that you're interested, or ask them if they have internship opportunities. So it's a really great opportunity for everyone to come together and share experiences and different opportunities.
The next question is, how likely is it for international students to get an on-campus job if it's not mentioned on your I-20? What I would suggest you do now is write to the financial aid office. Beverly Davis would be the contact person, and share with her that you're interested in exploring what opportunities available for on-campus positions. As you know, I'm certain that Dr. Barbieri has already shared with you, students holding an F1 visa are not allowed to work off campus. And so you would have to pursue an on-campus position. So I would go ahead now in July and get yourself on the wait list. So I don't know, because it's really based on your individual financial aid packet, but Beverly Davis would be the contact person, and just suggest that you would be interested in exploring those opportunities for yourself. So if you get yourself on a wait list now, that's just a leg up than waiting until you arrive in late August. What other questions? Let's see. Is it difficult for vegetarians to find food on campus? Absolutely not. Meriwether Godsey does a beautiful job. They are our food service, and there's lots of different stations, and there are some specifically set up for vegetarians. And you just simply need to explore all of the options. But all of the team and the chef are very, very friendly and willing to work with you to meet your needs. And so I could not believe the extensive menu that we have available compared to my personal experience at the university. And so I think that Meriwether Godsey does a beautiful job in trying to respond to the different needs. But you have to be able to talk with them about what your needs are, if they're unique. But in regards to being a vegetarian, I don't see that being an issue at all. There's always an extensive salad bar. But again, one of the stations is specifically set up for vegetarians. You want to respond to that?
Yeah, so our dining hall service is phenomenal. They actually take recipes. So last semester, I actually submitted a recipe through email. They looked over it. It was approved. And a week or so after I sent the email, that recipe or that meal was at our dining hall. So it was so awesome. And so, again, lots of opportunities for you to submit recipes, have different meal options as a vegetarian or if you're gluten-free. So there's really nothing for you to worry about for food. Again, the challenge would be adjusting, but if you had different restrictions, that's not a concern at all.
They do have a student panel that work with them to go back to Senate. Senate is on Tuesday nights on our campus. That is run by our student government. And that representative for food service gives updates there and also takes feedback from students back to the director of food services. And so I like the fact that that's available, that students can get involved and say, what about this? Or could we alter that? And it may not be that they could respond to absolutely everything, but I think they really try hard to accommodate students and what the requests are. And so that's fun that if you have a recipe during our cultural programming months, we have special meals set up for you to experiment and try things from different cultures. And so I have found them very easy to work with and really accommodating. So hopefully you'll find that too. Is it possible to wait until I'm at school to register for classes? You actually need to wait until you're here to register for classes. And so we will talk about that when you meet with the academic dean during our private pre-orientation program, our ISOP program. But then once we start the university orientation on the weekend, you will meet your advisor. You will meet the person that will be leading your first year seminar is your advisor. And that's a really nice experience. It's somewhat unique that you have the opportunity to spend time with your faculty advisor on a weekly basis in class and gain confidence to be able to talk through some of the concerns you might have, or just get that wonderful advice on what you should do, what direction you should go. And a lot of that's going to be, what are your interests? So they really want to know from you what you think you might want to do. If you don't know, there's going to be lots of opportunities to explore a variety of disciplines and test that out. But you will register after you've spent time with your faculty advisor over that weekend. You'll have one-on-one appointments with them. And so that will not take place until, I believe it's the Monday of orientation. So relax about that. However, I would go online and start looking at the courses and trying to map out. You having a plan, a draft, makes perfect sense. It'll make that session that much easier if you already have mapped out some interests and things that you want to do at that time. The main thing that I would always suggest is you strike a balance, knowing that you're away from home for the first time. The temptation is just to overload yourself to get started on your academic career. But it is going to be an adjustment coming to the university and coming so far from home. And so you want to strike that balance and make sure that one of your 4 courses is one that you really will enjoy, so that you know you've had one course set up that's just simply a fun course that may fulfill one of the skills and perspectives, but something that will balance out some of the things you're expected to take.
Yeah.
Anything to add with with balancing the
so
courses?
that makes perfect sense. Coming here for your first semester, again, you're excited, you want to explore, join all the different clubs, but it is really important to only put so much on your plate, because there's really a time where it might feel too much. And so really balancing out academics and extracurricular activities is really important. As a first year, I started off with 16 credits, and that was perfect for me because, again, 16 credits was 4 classes. I still had the time to join every family time meeting with ISOP. I had the time to explore different clubs. I had the time to adjust and do homework, cope with my homesickness. So it was really a good balance for me. And then as the semesters go on, I add 2 credits every semester. So after 16, I did 18. And after 18, I did 20. So it's really up to you to kind of see and observe what your balance looks like in regards to academics and all the other opportunities you want to do at Hollins.
Really good point. I think the key to remember is the amount of reading is substantially higher. And so you want to balance that so that you're not overloading yourself and getting too overwhelmed. So having that first term be the balance of starting with 4 courses, I think is a good idea. Now you're going to need to work with your faculty advisor, depending on your major interests. They will have the requirements that are necessary to stay on track there. But being kind to yourself, realizing this is a huge thing that you're doing. Going to the university in general is a huge step. You are adding that element by going so far from home and into a new culture. And so you have to be kind to yourself as you gain confidence in this new system. The residence hall life at Hollins, specifically in Tinker Hall or possibly Randolph Hall. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so Tinker and Randolph are specifically residential halls that are for mostly first-year students. And it's a really good opportunity to meet your class. You see each other at the hall a lot. It is a communal, you do have a communal bathroom, but every floor has a kitchen, so you can always make popcorn, bake whenever you'd like. So the kitchen's always available, and we also have laundry facilities. And so Tinker and Randolph are very, very nice, very convenient. I personally love both halls. And so you will have a great time in your residence hall. Also, you will have a resident assistant in each hall. So specifically your hall, you would have what you call an RA. And an RA is there really to be your friend. Last semester, I was an RA in Tinker. And so I really took the time to get to know everyone else who lived in my hall. We also did community building events where we set up a time and a date to come together and watch a movie. So it's really important to build relationships even with the community that you live in, even if it's just your hall mates, because you do share that area. And so just building a relationship with all your hall mates kind of makes the place more safe, feel more comfortable, and less intense. So
the RA is really another mentor, similar to the peer mentors with ISOP. Having upper class students that are there to show you the ropes and to help you get acclimated, it's a really important step. And so again, some of you may choose to be with a roommate, which is really a fun way to learn more about the culture here, but also just hallmates. And then wing mates. And so there's lots of opportunities to meet with more students. And again, it's just building some special networks for you. So ISOP will be a special network, and your residence hall will be a network, and then some of your coursework, and then where your interests are. So the clubs and programs you decide to join. But the key for us that is you find your place here. You find a spot that makes you feel comfortable and that where you can contribute. And in our department in culture and community engagement, we always ask, what contributions will you bring to the campus? Because when 200 plus students join our campus, it changes our culture. And so we're eager to see what contributions you will make here. And we're really delighted you decided to join us. I guess we have time for maybe one more question. And the last one on here is, what do you love about Hollins?
Do you want to go first?
You can go first.
So there's a long list because I do love Hollins truly, truly love Hollins. But some of my favorite, like super favorite things about Hollins, and what I personally think makes Hollins very unique to me, is that we have we have small classes. So we have an average class size of, I believe, 11, and a student professor ratio of 9-1. And so again, it's really small. I've had a class with 4 students. And so it's really important to have that one-on-one connection, build strong relationships with your classmates and your professors, and always get the help that you need with all the different resources that Hollins offers.
Mhm.
Another thing that I love about Hollins is just the environment in general. So beautiful campus, and then the community in it. So everyone is just so supportive. We actually had enrolled student day last week, or I believe 2 weeks ago. And a parent came up to me and she said, "What did you guys have for breakfast, and why is everybody smiling?" And it was so funny, but we're just like that. Everyone here is just so sweet, so nice. There's always someone that you can go to talk to. And there's just lots of opportunities to explore, lots of unique people from all around the world. And so it's a really great opportunity to just meet very, very phenomenal people that you will just have a great time here.
I agree. I would say for me, the opportunity to mentor students has been my life's work. And so I think it's important to know those of us that are here on purpose, and we're here for you. And we want you to be able to explore the best you. It's not important that you become someone new or someone different. We want to know what it is that you think you want to do with your life. And then we want to provide opportunities to make that happen. But it is about you accessing this campus, taking advantage of opportunities. It is a process to adjust, of course, like anything in your life, but it's going to be one of many. And so developing that skill set is really, really important to be able to stand on your own. You're going to be able to do it. You're going to do it beautifully. But there will be days where you need support, and that's expected. And that's why we're here. And so we feel that we have a very special experience here, a special community here. You are going to add a great deal to that community. And we hope that it's going to be an experience that changes your life. And so we can't wait for you to get here. We really can't. And again, if there were any other questions that we didn't get to address, please email me. If I have not heard from you personally, please start checking in. I will be sending out information within the next 2 weeks about the logistics. The other thing about arrival, the other thing that I'll be sending out, I've asked the peer mentors to develop questions that we've addressed some of them here, but there might be some more. I asked them to think of 5 questions they were afraid to ask before they arrived on campus. And I will be sending those out to you soon. So at this point, because your Hollins emails are not all set up yet, I will still be sending them to the email that you have given us. So when you get that, if you would please just respond. So just with a quick, I received it, thank you. I don't have any questions at this time, just so that I hear where you are. The key with the peer mentors and with me is to support this next month for you. We know that you're nervous, that's to be expected, but I hope you're also excited. And again, just to reinforce, not all of you use Facebook on a regular basis, but it's an easy program that we have found to do the summer chat. It's a wonderful way you can write to me privately in Messenger and ask a question, and then I will put the answer on the page for everyone else. So it's just opportunities for you to get to know each other, get to know us before you come. And so please stay engaged. Know that we're grateful. Thank you, Epa, for being with me this morning. Isn't she wonderful? We're looking forward to having you. Please let us know how things are going for you, and know that we'll be ready when you get here.
Yes.
Bye.